This is the story of how Courtney walked away from the traditional record label system to build her own independent rock band. The internet loves a rumor about her suddenly refusing every corporate contract in 2026, and that narrative sounds great, but the corporate music machine actually failed her years earlier. To understand where this powerhouse vocalist operates today, we need to look back at the beginning of her career. Born on July 6, 2004, she grew up within County Durham in the United Kingdom. Television audiences first heard her voice during a 2017 stint on The Voice Kids UK, which served as a stepping stone to a much larger platform. Before she could even drive a car, she stepped onto a stage that would completely alter her life's trajectory, bringing her unique sound to an international audience and setting the foundation for the massive independent career she enjoys today. Everything changed dramatically during season 13 of America's Got Talent in 2018, when she delivered an audition that quickly became legendary. She performed a blistering cover of Redding's classic hit Hard to Handle, and that specific video eventually amassed more than 50 million views. Audiences watched a young teenager instantly transform into a gritty classic rock frontwoman the second the music started. Viewers and critics immediately drew comparisons to legendary vocalists like Joplin, Tina Turner, and Amy. Her voice carried an unexpected, raw edge that totally captivated the judges and the massive live audience. What nobody expected was how this single performance would catapult a teenager from County Durham straight into the complex web of the international music industry, creating a demand for her talent that traditional record executives immediately wanted to control entirely. Judge recognized that raw talent immediately, and that's when he hit the coveted golden buzzer to send her straight through the competition. His exact words perfectly captured the gravity of the moment, as he told her he wasn't Clive Davis and couldn't sign her to a record deal, but he could give her the buzzer. That direct endorsement propelled her entirely through the reality television circuit, and she eventually finished as a finalist in 6th place. Being the only British act to advance to the finale in season 13 proved just how strongly her authentic rock sound resonated with American viewers. Millions of people tuned in every week just to see what classic rock anthem she would tackle next. The reality platform successfully turned her into a globally recognized name, but it also forced her directly into a corporate system that struggled to understand the very authenticity making her popular. The music industry moved fast following her massive television success, and December of 2018 brought a major recording contract. She joined the roster of SMusic, working in partnership with Records and Music. On paper, securing a massive corporate deal looked like the absolute dream outcome for any reality television contestant looking to build a lasting career. The reality of her situation turned into a frustrating clash between artistic authenticity and the strict demands of a corporate machine. Corporate executives simply misunderstood her gritty rock roots, preferring to manufacture a highly marketable mainstream star instead. They heavily pushed her toward pop music, entirely ignoring the classic rock and blues influences that originally earned her a massive global. This disconnect created a restrictive environment, forcing her to fight constantly for her creative voice. Creative friction defined those early years, as executives continuously tried pairing her with mainstream pop songwriters. Finding a middle ground proved impossible, and she later explained the situation with total clarity regarding her own artistic vision. Her own words outlined the frustration perfectly, admitting she spent weeks being put into writing sessions so they could try to find her sound, but it was always with pop songwriters, which she knew was completely wrong. This intense pressure to conform to a radio-friendly pop mold directly threatened the authentic, gritty style she naturally possessed. Instead of letting her develop as a rock and blues frontwoman, the label tried to fit a square peg into a round hole, wasting valuable time trying to change the very qualities making her special. The corporate machine wanted a predictable pop star, while she possessed a deep desire to sing raw rock and roll. Navigating the reality television trap created even more pressure during this difficult era. January of 2019 saw her return to the screen for the spin-off series America's Got Talent. The Champions, though her participation lacked genuine enthusiasm. She openly admitted she didn't really like the experience, but she was persuaded to do the spin-off as long as the producers allowed her to perform an original song. Taking back a small piece of creative control mattered more to her than simply covering another classic track. The breaking point for her major label journey finally arrived in 2020, and the reason had nothing to do with her talent. Music essentially ceased operations that year, abruptly shutting down and leaving her completely stranded in label limbo without a clear path forward. This sudden corporate collapse derailed her career trajectory, forcing her to rethink her approach to the music industry. The global pandemic from 2021 through 2023 provided an unexpected hiatus that she used as a deliberate transition period. Walking away from the pop label machine gave her the space to focus entirely on writing original rock music that stayed true to her roots. Navigating the industry as an independent artist brought new hurdles, especially when she signed with the M2S agency in 2024. That relationship ended shortly after it began because the agency reportedly failed to secure live gigs for her. Finding the right team eventually happened when she signed with Oliver at Total Artist Management, while also working alongside runway artists. Striking out independently required building a completely new support system from the ground up, completely free from the restrictive corporate mandates of her past. Taking control of her own management allowed her to finally pursue the exact music she wanted to create. Operating independently allowed her to assemble her own dedicated backing band, officially known as Courtz. She brought together Orlando Avalon on lead guitar, Ornate on keys and vocals, on drums, on rhythm guitar, and Raj handling the bass. Having a consistent group of talented musicians behind her changed the dynamic of her live performances entirely, shifting her from a solo reality star to a genuine rock frontwoman. October 29, 2024, marked a massive milestone for the newly formed group when they recorded live sessions at the famous Metropolis Studios located in London. Capturing that authentic live band energy proved she was finally operating entirely on her own terms without a label executive hovering over the control board. The studio sessions perfectly captured the gritty, powerful sound she had been fighting to record since her television audition 6 years ago. All of this deliberate independent work culminated during 2025 with the highly anticipated release of her independent debut album titled Little Miss Jagged. Taking back her creative control proved she absolutely did not need a major label to find an audience or generate streaming revenue. Her statistics from March of 2026 speak volumes about her independent success, bringing in approximately 70,600 monthly listeners. Fans flocked to her new original sound, pushing her top streaming track, That Girl Don't Live Here, up to 2.5 million streams. Meanwhile, her live cover of Sucker reached 2.1 million streams, proving her audience remained dedicated to her artistic vision. Releasing a full album independently requires massive effort and financial risk, but the streaming numbers validated her decision to walk away from the corporate machine that tried to change her identity. Building an independent career also requires a massive social media presence, and her current statistics are nothing short of incredible. As of March 2026, she commands an audience of 1.2 million YouTube subscribers, 1.2 million TikTok followers, 1.1 million Instagram followers, and 1.8 million fans on Facebook. Throughout 2025 and 2026, she has been actively touring, performing live shows, and operating successfully entirely outside the major label ecosystem. Refusing every major record label offer in 2026 is simply an internet myth, because the reality is she walked away from a system that failed to understand her years ago. Choosing to build her own independent rock band gave her the freedom to release the music she was always meant to make. She survived the reality television machine, outlasted her corporate record label, and built a sustainable career entirely on her terms.